game of patterns. So, like, basically, our expectations give us the solid ground, right? Like, okay, last 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of March, price action was phenomenal. I mean, the edge presented itself every trading day. So out of the 10 trading days in the first 2 weeks, the edge presented itself every single time, and had flawless follow through. I think we had one loss in 10 trading days the first 2 weeks of March. Then we come into last week, where the setups just weren't that good. I mean, look at look at this morning, right? This was Monday. Garbage, trash price action. No setup presented itself. What me and Todd were just talking about is that's expected. Because if you got an 88% chance of, so our strategy, the HPT Cross has an 88% chance of presenting. So over a month worth of data, right? If the month is your study, that's 21 trading days. We've already had 10 of them, and it presented itself each time. You're gonna get chop shit trading days. You are. It's inevitable. And that's what we've seen this week. And overall, though, understanding that data helped me this week be able to walk away from the chart if I wasn't seeing my edge. How many times in the beginning trading years, right, where you're trying to, get a green trade every day. I gotta get green, gotta get play, and it's like, no, bro, your expectations gotta be right. You know what I mean? If the iron is hot, you strike. But what do you do if it's not hot? You wait. You save your energy. You save your capital. It's easier said than done, right? It's very easy to say, oh, walk away, don't trade, right? Like, yeah, that shit sounds good. But with the data, it makes it a little bit easier to be like, okay, maybe we're just falling into some bullshit. I'm going to step away. Monday was tough. Monday was tough, man. Monday, I took one trade and walked away. And because I walked away, I ended up missing this beautiful move. Break that down, Todd. I know you caught that, right?
Yeah, it took forever. When it's like this in the morning, and I really don't like trading after about 10:30.
Todd, hold up 1 second. I just wanna boost up the. All right, there we go.
Yeah, most of the time I don't trade between after 10:30. Yeah. I mean I'm Central Time, so that's 11:30 y'all's time. But usually trade. But that morning was so terrible, back and forth.
Garbage.
So I'd go outside and stretch and do this, and I'd come back in and wait till I see something.
Yeah.
And then that 1 o'clock,
right there,
that red candle comes down, and it respects that EMA, the 20.
I got the 50 right here, but you're talking about the 20 SMA, right?
Yeah, it lines up with your 50 basically, but
yeah.
And that's my go-to thing. If you look at the last hour before that, it didn't respect nothing. Nothing was respected. It was choppy as shit.
Yeah.
And then that respects it like to the T almost.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we get the RBI, of course, the old RBI continuation.
Bam.
It was over. Yeah.
Bro, that's also what we were talking about before we got started, right? Like, we got to ask the right questions, right? Like, we like to be like, oh, man, I'm looking for a tool that works every time, right? Every time I want it to work every time. It's not that it needs to work every time. It's that you need to be able to see when it is working, right? Like the 50 right here. It's the shitty price action. The strategy did not present itself in the morning, which is to be expected. We've had 10 straight trading days, 11 straight trading days where HPT Crossbend presented itself, right? It's got an 88% chance of presenting itself over a span of a month, right? So the law of averages states you're going to get some chop, you're going to get some shit days, right? That's okay. So we were like, all right, I'm not going to trade the morning. It's garbage. I go to take a trade here. I go to take a short, and then I get stomped out really quickly, right? I enter in short here. Right into open print, playing, and this, we could talk about this, but basically playing into open print might not have been the best idea, and we got to be able to be like, all right, the morning's trash. Is the iron hot? Do I want to strike? Or is it best saving my capital until something gets respected? And that's what happened, bro. Like, look at how the 50 ends up getting respect. You know, honestly, in my opinion, once I went short here and got stomped out, mentally I'm like, oh, she's gonna rip, because the upside target was all the way up here, right? I just didn't have any faith. Look at the upside target was up here at 56976. So, like, think about it. You got trash. It's all chop. It's garbage. And then people finally lose open print. This blue horizontal line I got here, that's the 1 hour moving average. We get back above that. We find buying acceptance. And then at that point, we just got to wait for that 50 to be respected. And look, it's bam, 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 then takes off. Then you get your RBI. What'd you say in the Discord, bro? I loved it. You're like, once that cloud evened out, she was gone. Yeah. Like, this is what we got to be able to be like, all right, this is what we want. This is what we want right here. Yeah, Monday was tough, man.
That's what I was saying. Once that cloud was respected, it was on after that.
Yeah, she took right off. Open print played a massive role right there too, 100%.
No doubt.
Let me throw these pits on here. Boom. All right, there we go.
Yeah, ever since you got me using open print, I've like kind of got it in my head. If we're above open print, on the price, I'm taking longs only. And if we're below, of course I miss some trades, but I'm not taking. I'm in the right direction for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that shit's important. Okay, so next day, right? Next day I was kind of kicking myself a little bit. We started to get some selling here. Just so everyone knows, I got this indicator on where we got the previous day high up here, this blue line, end of day, previous day lows right here. Right? So initially we sell off here in the morning, right? Sellers come in really strong. We fall below previous day low. So what we're getting here is a break and retest off the low of the previous day, right? This is a perfect example of large time frame break and retest, right? We got previous day low, and then we fall below it, and we get a really nice green bar here that ends up being ignored, right? I didn't get in this short. These candles were a little bit too big for me, and it was selling off very fast, right? So I stayed away from entering that short. Instead, I wanted to see the retest of the GBI, and this is very effective. Like, when you trade this way, it really, so this helps me tremendously, because if a trade gets away from me, you don't need to be like, oh man, I missed it, or oh man, let me chase, right? Like, the worst thing you want to do is end up getting in right here, right? Say we got some bearish target at 5567 or whatever, 557, right? And you're like, oh my God, I'm missing it. No, your ass ain't missing nothing. What's happening is price is getting extended from the 1 hour time frame. So it's best to be patient and allow price to come back into that area of value identified right there by that initial GBI, right? And that's what happened. I ended up catching a little short play right here. Once we ripped back into it and we got a nice retest here that was rejected, I entered short and caught a small play here to the downside. But once again, price action just was garbage. There really wasn't much here. What I was proud of is my ability to put on one trade and be able to walk away pretty much near a break even, due to the fact that, price action, there was just no continuation. It was garbage. And it was just back and forth all over the place. And, once again, these when I see really fast sell-offs, an alarm goes off. And I'm like, or like really fast upward movement in the morning, like the day before it. Like, look, super fast upward movement, consolidation, right? Same thing, super fast downward movement, and then consolidation, right? So just really being observant to that and being like, okay, Todd, you mind hitting mute until you speak, just so it's not. Let me make sure that's okay. All right, thanks, bro. So yeah, just really like waiting for the retest of the initial GBI is really important. But once again, if the price action ain't there, there's nothing we can do. right? The biggest thing, and I talked about it before, is like if the edge doesn't present itself, that nice clean HPT cross, it's usually for a reason, right? Like, if it's not showing up the way we like it, we got to ask ourselves, do we really want to even trade, right? Because if I show you a day, I mean, even the next day right here, I mean, we did get, hold on, let me make sure I got that right. This day was actually really cool. This was a solid day. I was able to capitalize on this long right here, up into previous day high. One thing that helped me on this trade was trading SPX. Right, so trading SPX, I don't need to capture very large moves. I could capture around 70 to 80 cents, and that will help me clear over 30% ROI, right? So that's kind of what happened on this day right here. I really liked how that fake out down below the 50, really, this right here tricked a lot of people. And I honestly, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was in the Discord. I was getting ready for a short. I just needed the moving average cross. Right? And once again, this is why, our strategy is very effective, because if and when you wait for the proper criteria, you're not going to get caught in shit like this. I mean, look at that, dude. That looks blueprint 3-bar play to the downside. I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, man, sellers are here. They defended open very well, but no moving average cross, right? So sellers haven't initially taken over the conditions yet. And you'll notice, look, the 1 hour trend, which is this blue line, is moving upward, right? You guys see here how the trend is actually moving up, right? It starts down here. We're in an uptrend on the 1 hour. So anytime I'm in an uptrend on the 1 hour, I got to be a little cognizant to the fact that buyers are still overall in control. Therefore, I have to wait for that moving average cross. And, like we always say, yeah, we might miss some setups here and there. But what won't happen is I will not get caught in something like this, right? Instead, I'm like, okay, this is a major fake out right here. I honestly should have longed this. If, in my opinion, this is a great long. Except the fact that you don't know if it's chop yet, right? But usually when you get a fake out below the 50 as of such, you could usually bet your bottom dollar that you're going to get a rally up. But in these market conditions, they've been extremely choppy. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. Let's see if we get our criteria. And we end up getting it. It was really nice. We got a really nice push. We got a red bar here. I ended up longing it right around. I actually ended up whipping out the 2-minute just to kind of give me a head start here on getting in. And I want to say this because I say this to everybody. If you're going to use the 2-minute, just be aware that there is a high chance that you could get caught in chop. Me and Cal were talking, and I think this is really important to talk about. When the 5-minute trend is healthy, the 2-minute makes a lot of sense, guys, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to only trade the 2-minute, right? Because all what I could speak on is the data I've accumulated, and the data is based off the 5-minute time frame. But we've been missing a lot of 2-minute setups, or I have. And it's not that like I'm speaking from a point of, oh, I don't like missing stuff, I want to get it. I'm speaking to a point of, is it wrong to trade in a healthy trend? No, right? So there's nothing wrong with using the 2-minute. And I just want to state, one of the main reasons I don't advertise the 2-minute is because I get a lot of new traders, and they usually struggle with discipline and patience. And that's one thing the 5-minute will give them, right? So, I don't ever want anyone thinking I don't respect the 2. The 2, look at this. This 2 entry was beautiful. This actually helped me get in the market much earlier than it would have on the 5-minute. But I just kind of wanted to throw that out there so everybody knows, right? The 2 is a very valuable tool. But if you're going to use it, in my opinion, I suggest that you only trade healthy 5-minute trends without extensions or gaps, right? So that's what I was willing to do. And honestly, another reason why I took this long using the 2-minute was this false break here below that 50. And then open print, initially defended by sellers, got smoked, right? So that means something, right? When you got sellers really defending that open, and then you get that bull 180, and we're literally just decimated all them sellers, at that point, you could pretty much bet that you're going to get a market imbalance. So you got to find a way in there with appropriate risk. So that was a good trade right there. I took that trade. Then I took this long off previous day high. I was kind of kicking myself for this trade. Let's talk about it. So I longed this off previous day high, and it was for a couple reasons. Initially, if you look at the critical levels, we're bouncing off previous day high and previous day open print. So as far as market structure goes, this is beautiful. As far as the 1 hour trend, this is beautiful. As far as the 5-minute trend, this looks phenomenal. But what's one thing we're missing on this trade? We're missing that extra RBI to the upside, right? Like, I'm trying to become much more clear on how I define an RBI, because technically that candle before it is a red bar that was ignored. But that's not really the RBIs I look for or trade, right? The RBIs I really look to trade look something like this, right? So I'm really trying to figure out the best way to, define an RBI, because there is some, there can be some confusion here, right? Because that is a red bar that gets ignored, but it's not the same as this, right? This is just, it's more of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Another thing different, right? I took that long, I got stomped out right below the candle I got in on, and then Powell showed up, he started speaking, and I was like, all right, I don't know if I'm going to trade. I was at around a break even for the day, and price rips into open print here, and we get really strong buying, right? And I'm like, okay, where's my upside targets at, right? How, what's this look like? And then we ended up getting that really nice rally. Trend stayed very healthy, and just like Todd was talking about, that 50 got respected really well right here, along with the cloud, right? So we got open print, we got moving average cross, and we got RBI. So at that point, I'm in long. This trade lasted about like a minute 70. It was like, it was about a 2-minute trade. And just caught a really nice move. SPX showed it a little bit better. That was a really good execution right there. I felt really good about it. Where was it? This was my target right here. Oh, that was why. I was targeting this gap right here. You guys see this gap on SPX, right? We get that gap down. So now once the market looked like that, I'm in it, and I targeted 5674. Ended up rallying, but it doesn't matter to me. I captured a 38% ROI on that trade. It was phenomenal. It was a great trade.
Yeah, that was a beautiful trade right there.
Yeah.
And I know we sound like broken records all the time, but stacking the confluences like we always talk about, that 50 held to the T, and look at the previous resistance, turn support at the 50 respecting. It all clicks together right there,
Yeah. It's like until that presents, it's garbage, it's trash. Like if we could just wait for that every single day, and I used to say that and be like, yeah, I ain't got a chance waiting. But now I'm starting to see everyone on the Discord waiting. Bro, there's nothing that I love more than watching people control their emotions on the team, right? Because that's like the first component in becoming a really good trader. I truthfully believe it. Once you master you, and you can just be patient, and then once you see all those stars align, right, where you're like, all right, rally off open print. Then we got the RBI right here. The 50 gets respected. The 20 gets respected. The cloud gets respected. I'm in this, right? Once I seen this rally up, I whipped out the contracts. I was like, all right, if I get an RBI, I'm in it. And then I got it, and then she ended up ripping. And it's just the process, right? I mean, the same thing happened the next day. This was actually a little bit challenging, but I want to talk about this. This was Thursday. Thursday I took 2 trades, 2 very quick scalps in my opinion. And it was literally our criteria, but this was the day, Todd, where if I traded the 2-minute, I would have done exceptionally well. I'm sure you murdered this day trading that too. And and it's, once again, right, it's not like you got to even pick a side, right? You could use both. But I longed right here after this RBI, and I caught about a 30, I think it's 32% ROI on these next 5-minute candles. And then I entered back in this right here and caught a really nice move on these 2-3 candles here. And I ended up selling right here, just because I've seen it a million times where when you really rally, and you got a critical level right there, it just makes sense to get out of the trade, right? Like, it was such a far rally. I went into it going, hey, like, the trade I'm going for is a scalp. You can't marry the critical level in this trade. You're very extended from that 1 hour time frame. So you got to make sure that your execution is on point when you see this.
Do you want two plain ones for later?
No doubt.
Yeah.
And that first candle off the rip that morning.
Yeah.
We getting
Look
lower
at that.
lows and
Look
lower
at that.
highs and lower lows, and then all of a sudden, bam,
Bro, that
those
was
buyers are here.
Bro, that was so damn beautiful on the 2-minute. And bro, this brings me back to what I was talking about. And look at it on the 2-minute. This actually helped me get in long. So I went long on this candle, caught my little move, and then I went long on this candle, caught my little move. But look at the 2-minute, because I want to go into next week with the team and me going, hey, how could I trade the 2-minute effectively, right? Now, when you feel comfortable enough with trading our strategy, you don't necessarily have to incorporate the 2-minute. But if you were going to, this is how I would recommend it. If and when you got a trend, and this really wasn't that, there were some gaps here, which kind of kept me from it. But you got to watch the price action and ask yourself, right? Like, you're getting really clean RBIs. You're closing above that 50. The biggest thing that pointed out to me here was the 1 hour time frame, right? You see how this blue line, that's the 1 hour 9. Now we're closing above it. Anytime something like this happens, it's just like on a 5-minute time frame, where when you're closing below the 5-minute and then you close above it on the so look at this 5-minute trend here on the chart on the right. Notice we're closing below the 9. What happens once that changes? Bam, rally. So the 1 hour has the same principle. Once you get back above that 1 hour, look at the rally you get right after that. Right? She just took right off. That was some wild price action. It can be frustrating, watching it and not being a part of it. It's and the only thing I could say is if that 5-minute trend looks healthy, and you're above the 50 EMA, you got a clear upside target. There's nothing. Try really hard not to get ahead of yourself, is what I'm saying, because I did that for so long, right? I would be like, oh man, I'm too late, right? And I'd be saying that like right here. I'd be like, oh, I'm too late on it, and then this would happen, and I'd be like, oh, it's got to reverse, and then this happens, and then at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just taking it. And, there's got to be a point where you see it. And you just go, you know what? I'm going to get in and I'm going to accumulate the risk. And the 5-minute finally gave me that RBI there, so I was willing to take it. I think we had some traders. Oh, yeah, QQQ had it perfect. Look at that. Oof. That was beautiful. I was going to say, I know Blue caught this on Q's. What a beautiful trade right there. Bam. Look at that. That's flawless. But at the end of the day, say you missed it. That's fine. If you didn't like it or if you didn't feel comfortable with it and you decided to remain patient and watch it, that's good. That means you're strictly disciplined and you only trade your price action. Kyle caught a beautiful short play right here. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So, this is what I love about the team, right? Like, we all don't need to take the same trades. One might be trading the 2-minute. One might be trading Qs. One might be trading SPY. But we're all sticking to the same approach, and it's working. That was a phenomenal short play right there too. That was about the only good day we really had this whole week.
Yeah, that's why Friday was a win, man. If you see that and you're able to recognize that it's garbage, that's a win.
Yes.
And you don't take no trades and
Yeah.
shit price action, and the 3-step criteria just prevents you from putting on shit.
Yeah. It just keeps you grounded. And that's another thing that I love that I'm seeing too is we got a lot of traders that are seeing this bullshit and they're not like, because I think I talk about it in a lot of my videos, like, yeah, we could force something. We could make something happen. Right? Like anybody could throw on some size and get a quick win in, right? Like I've been there, especially when bills are coming up. But the thing is like you are either rewarding your negative, or how do I want to say it? When you are just forcing something, you are crippling your future self as a trader, right? Like if I just piled in a short play right here because, I don't know, it closed below open print and I caught a 40-cent move, but I had 20 contracts and I made $500, that's not repeatable whatsoever. Like the chances of that repeating tomorrow are very slim, but your mind is going to recall the neurological pathway that was created when you did that bullshit. And it's going to go, oh, dude, you made 500 off that retarded play. Try it again. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why we build those super bad habits as traders. And they take so long to undo. So, yeah, it's best to stay away.
I try to think of it like this. When I turn my computer on, I'm not searching for trades.
Yes.
I'm waiting on the trade to present itself and get thrown in my lap to where, hey, here it is.
I like that.
And then you got to take it. You're not searching for it.
I like that.
You're waiting for the easy money to come to you. You know when you're supposed to act, and that's
final.
You just sit there and wait.
I like that. It could get hard, especially if you're staring at the chart all day. That's why I recommend every trader to go find something else to do with most of their time. I don't care if it's, posting videos or going to the gym or, like even driving Uber, like anything, right? Like, if you're staring at the chart 90% of the day, you're going to get frustrated. And, we've been programmed throughout society to feel like to make money, we have to do something. Trading does not apply to any of that, right? Like the only thing you got to do to make money in this game is click your mouse. But to make money consistently, you got to click that shit at the right time. So it has nothing to do with effort, right? Like there's nothing you can do effort-wise to make a trade go in your favor. And, it don't matter how hard you concentrate, don't matter how less you concentrate. All what matters is that when it does present, you're ready. So, this day was just all over the place. I mean, the rally off open print was nice. I was about to take it, but I just hopped off the live, and I stepped away, and I was like in the bathroom, and I was like, I'm whatever, I ain't gonna take it. And then I was like, all right, if sellers can't hold, or if buyers can't hold the 50, I'll go short, and I ended up getting in short around 560. Caught a pretty nice move down to 559, but by this point, I was picking my daughter up from school. I was literally buckling her into the car right here, and then price gapped up on me, and I was like, this still looks good. And then right here, I want to point something out. What happens once this bear play no longer plays out, right? Once sellers lose this battle, she took off, right? So, and just to highlight, the biggest thing, right, is like when you're playing these critical levels, don't forget, this is where large money makes their moves. So, don't get stuck holding no bullshit. Don't get stuck getting chopped up, right? If you're wrong, you get your ass out of the trade. I ended up breaking even on this trade. It was a little frustrating, given it was a Friday. I was up around like $350 on this. And then I ended up giving it all back. But I did not give any more back. And that's the most important part, right? Like, if we talked about it before. If you are up, there is no reason to ever lose, right? If you're up over 20%, there's no reason to lose 20%. Realize something. The levels we trade, if you're up and then it goes against you, it's for a reason, right?